Hello and welcome to the Ultraman opening tier list. This is the next episode in the ranking series that we do here on the channel. Lately we've been ranking tokusatsu, so let's rank some tokusatsu. Ultraman is going to be very difficult, and I'll explain why. First off, most of these are logos, with the name in Japanese, so I'm going to have to, and they're not in order. And I have no idea how to put them in order because I don't know what some of them are. So my hope is that the opening theme is going to tell me that it's going to pop up with that same logo, and then I'll just match it. But I think we'll figure it out as we go. I mean, some of them are pretty obvious. You have like X, Orb. I know this one's G'd. And then there's like 3 Qs, so we'll see what's going on there. But we're gonna get started here, and if there is a show that is on this list that is not in the list of openings that I've got, I'll come back to it at the end, and I'll see. I found a playlist that had all of the openings, but it didn't have all of them in order, and it didn't have all of them, like, I guess the way to put it is it didn't have opening 1. And so I found a video that is all of opening 1s. Because I don't want opening 4, I want to rank them on opening 1, like I have for the other 2. So, let's get started here, and we'll see how this goes. Alright, so Ultraman Q. I'm assuming this is the one. It was okay. It's kind of just silhouettes of the monsters, but at least you get to see the kaiju that way. Like, it definitely does show them, while the kids sing about how Ultraman's gonna save the day, you know? I think I'm gonna put it in a C. I definitely didn't hate it. I would listen to it again. Do 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 do, with like the kaiju being shown on there in silhouette. That was cool. I liked that. I just was kind of hoping for a little bit more from that. I should specify the way that I rank these, as always, is how it hypes me up and what it tells somebody about the show from the, like, just from the OP. So, like, does it show the heroes? Does it show the villains? Does it show who they are as people? The heroes, at least. And I know that Ultraman villains are normally giant kaiju, so like this was fine. Just show me the kaiju. Let me see them. That tells me right away that it's a show where Ultraman's going to fight giant monsters. This is probably going to be cool, you know. So that's how I normally rank these. Let's move on to the second OP. All right, Ultraman 7, Ultra 7. I think as a song, I'm gonna put it below Q. I think as a song, it's better. I think as an OP, it's worse. 7, 7, 7. Like, that's pretty good, you know? But visually, it was less interesting because you didn't get to see a bunch of the kaiju in silhouette. I know for a fact because of Gene that they move away from that style, but we'll see how long it stays in that style. All right, my assumption is that this is just the Ultraman, the original Ultraman. I like it probably more than Q, I think. It's still very basic, but you do actually get to see he comes in with his arm up, and you get to see the different flashes, and then the music does actually say his name, which again, you don't have to do that, but it gets me more excited every time I hear it. So, where we're at right now, let's see about this next one. Ultraman Ace's theme is pretty dang good. So I'm gonna be honest, I was getting kind of disappointed because I really liked the Showa writer themes, and I really liked a lot of the Showa Sentai themes. In fact, a couple of the Showa Sentai themes were like top tier for me. So when I saw some of these early Ultraman openings, Return of Ultraman, Ultra 7, and Ultra Q, I was getting kind of disheartened, to be honest. I was like, okay, yeah, I mean, you know, it was very early. It was the early 60s. You know, it's just, we got to get there, I suppose. Ultraman Ace is a dang good opening. It still has the silhouettes, but again, you get to see the silhouettes of the monsters. And then you have do. It's very, very good. And of course, you get do Ace. But yeah, that's very, very good. I like that a lot. I would listen to that again. So next up, I believe, is Ultraman Taro. Ultraman Taro. I think we're actually going to move Ace down and put Taro in A. Taro, we actually get some visuals. However, I don't think the visuals did a lot to hype me up. They're very cool. I like it a lot. They just didn't get me super excited. I didn't get to see Ultraman Taro at all, really. You do get to see inside a base with some cool uh, models that are very obviously supposed to be much bigger in show canon, but very very cool model work. Nice song too. I liked it. That's why it's now the new A, and Ace has been moved down to B. So after Taro is Leo. Leo, Ultraman, Leo. Very very nice. Also, it has to take the new top of A because it opens with Ultraman Leo punching towards the screen. Like that's the thing that Gene does. I've seen that before. No, really though, that's legitimately exciting. Every time I see that, I'm like, yeah. So Ultraman Leo, top of E right now. I still haven't seen anything that's like just blown me away the way that like Sun Vulcan did. But let's see. Next up is the Ultraman, I think is what it's called. It's the animated version. There's some cool shots in this opening for sure. The song is pretty good. I'm gonna put it in A. I'm gonna put it after Taro. I'm gonna put it in A. But there is one shot that like really got me, and it's where a character fires a gun, and the bullet sails forward and then expands open to reveal the hanger, and that's a really cool transition. I like that a lot. I don't know. It was good. I don't. I definitely don't like it as much as I was hoping to. And again, I know what's coming because I've seen Jeed, parts of Jeed anyway, so I know the level of opening that I'm getting coming soon, and so I might be comparing it without meaning to. But it's leagues above silhouettes on a screen when it comes to visuals. I just don't know that all those visuals were in service to hyping me up in the episode. My personal ranking. Following the Ultraman is Ultraman 80. You want to talk silhouettes on a screen? Ultraman 80 shows you how to do it. That entire OP is silhouettes on the screen, but it's silhouettes that are like, and they're like doing attacks and they're jumping, flipping, and the whole time it's Udu Torama 80. Udu Torama 80. Like, yes, I am down for that. The way the glass comes together at the start too to form the opening, that's really cool. And then I'm gonna listen to it again. You won't be able to hear it, but I have to hear that final note again. That final note was incredible. Utorama 80. He came to us from the stars, and I didn't even hear as high as they did. That's great. I love that. That may move up to triple S. We'll see. He came to us from the stars. That's great. I love that. Man, this is why I love doing these, because like you never know what you're gonna get. You just never know. It's oh. Okay, so this one confused me. Ultraman Towards the Future. It confused me for a couple of reasons. The first big one being the inverted colors. The second one being that it was shot in a very different way to any OP that I've seen in any tokusatsu so far. So I did a little bit of research real quick in between, and it was produced in Australia, and apparently it's really short. It only went from January 1992 to March 1990. That's kind of cool. I want to watch that now, but as an opening, I actually think it's a pretty rough opening. I'm almost willing to put it in D. The music's not bad. Like the music's not bad. And you get to see the monsters for sure, but it feels weird. It doesn't get me excited. It's like it feels like an ending theme. Maybe is the way to put it. It definitely feels like an ending theme. We're gonna put it at the bottom of C, but it could move down to D because it 100% feels like an ending theme for me and not an opening theme. But next up is Ultraman Taiga. I was wrong. Next up is Ultraman the Ultimate Hero, which I'm assuming is the sequel to Towards the Future because it also was made by the Australian studio. This is a much better opening than Towards the Future, in my opinion. This opening is a little bit more upbeat of a song, so sure, right away. But also, it's got characters doing stuff. The colors aren't inverted for no reason. It definitely feels a lot more like a, hey, check us out, here we go. That said, in a lot of ways, it also kind of feels like a Law and Order opening, uh, which I know it sounds like I'm being super critical here, but like they show some of the monsters, but they don't actually show any action of any kind. You barely get to see Ultraman at all. It's just the last shot. Um, it's a very different style, which is why I almost feel bad ranking them at all. I am gonna put it in B. No, I might still put it in C. I don't really want to put it above. We're gonna put it at the top of C. We're gonna put it above the first couple openings, but I still don't think it's a great opening for Ultraman, if that makes sense. Like that doesn't hype me up for the episode. It just makes me go, okay, yeah, sure, all right. And I know I'm being super critical, and definitely let me know in the comment section down below if these two OPs are your favorite and I missed some kind of detail that makes it feel more like an OP for you, because I want to hear from you. But we're going to move on to Ultraman Taiga. So it's Ultraman Tiga, not Ultraman Taiga. I apologize. Yeah, this was a pretty good opening. It calls back to the previous ones in before the previous Japanese ones in the way of here's the models, right? But at the same time, it also has shots of the team. I'm assuming that's the team anyway, because the big final shot has all of them. You don't really get to see any action again, but you do get to see space. You get to see Ultraman Tiga like going up into space. And the music goes, "Wanna take you, baby, take you higher," which is like, okay, yeah, you got me. I'm listening. You got me. We're gonna move that to the top of A for sure. It could move up to S, but right now it's top of A. Following that is Ultraman Dyna. That Dyna OP is real good. Ultraman Dyna, Dyna. Also, you get shots of the team throughout. You get moments of them each getting to show their personality for a second, you know? And then you also get the very slick transition to and from Silhouette. And so in that way, this OP pays homage to the older OPs for Ultraman that were just the silhouettes, while also still showing him doing things, showing him bring up the laser. You know, I got to sit higher in my chair to be able to show the other arm. It's I really like that OP. That OP is very very solid. Next up is Ultraman Gaia. That's a good OP. That was a good OP. I'm gonna put it at top of A because I don't think I would listen to that song on its own. But I do think it fit the OP really well, and I really liked the various shots that all the characters got to be able to show their personality. That kind of thing really goes a long way for me. Of like, I haven't seen your show. Should I watch it? Why should I watch it? And well, maybe it's because you made me excited to see it by seeing these characters. You know, give me an idea of who they are just from the OP, so that if I decide later on I want to watch it, I can go, well, that one had that captain guy that walked out on the bridge and went. It's like, yeah, okay, I want to watch that now. And so like, I think stuff like that's important. And I mentioned this in the Sentai one, but it's also important because on a rewatch, when you say, you know, hey, I loved this show, I want to go back and watch it again. At like episode 2 is normally when OPs play, but like on episode 2, you watch the OP and you go, "Oh, that's right, I loved that guy." Or you can watch the OP later on YouTube years later and go, "Yeah, this show was really good," because you remember the character moments because like you spent time with them, but then you see him in the OP and it recalls all that. I'll stop rambling now. We'll move on to Ultraman. I'm actually not sure if it's going to go to Neos or if it's going to go to Q Dark Fantasy, but we'll find out. No, you can't just do that. You can't just leave me on a cliffhanger in the OP. You can't use the OP to cliffhang me. I want to know what happens with the explosion, with the asteroids and the ship and the guy sailing off into space. That OP's great. That OP, like the song already is really good. Utorama, Torama, oh Nails. Yeah, Ultraman Nails. That's a good OP, man. Like, I will put it this way. I've seen a lot of OPs that decide to tell stories instead of focusing on the show or the characters. And I've seen OPs that do like abridged versions of the story. I haven't seen Nails to know if this is the first episode or not. But I got a good feel for those characters right away based on their actions with that asteroid meteor shower, I guess, coming in. This is a top tier opening. And you may be sitting here like, Trey, what do you mean? What's wrong with you? This is you didn't even get to see Ultraman in this opening. But I'm intrigued. I'm excited to watch more. And I feel like having like if I watch the show, when I go back and watch the I will eventually, I'm sure. When I go back and watch the OP, then it will be either haha, yeah, that did happen. These characters are great, or it'll be oh yeah, no, that did happen. That was terrible and tragic and those characters died. Cuz I don't know. It cliffhugged me. I don't know. But I think that's incredible. That's such a weird decision with your OP and I love it. That's so weird and cool. So Ultraman Neos is the first triple S tier for sure. Next up is Ultraman Cosmos. Cosmos. It's alright. That's a really good OP. I think we might put it just behind 80. That's a really, really solid OP. I like that a lot. Ultraman Cosmos, talking about kindness and the only enemy you must fight is yourself. Um, like it's a pretty good OP. I like that a lot. Also, they had the punch. They had the punch up towards the screen, so that's instant points for me. I'm looking back on it now. We'll double check after we're done, but I think this is probably the original Ultraman OP, which is not in this list. Because this one that I thought was original Ultraman is Return of Ultraman, and this one's Ultra 7. So after I get done with this video, we'll go back and rank this one. I'm sure I can find it. Next up is Ultra Q Dark Fantasy. I was wrong. Next up was Ultraman Nexus. This is a very rock-heavy opening in a way that I kind of didn't expect. But I liked it. I liked it. It was really good. I think we're going to put it probably top of A. It was very solid. Very, very good. I liked especially the just randomly when it would go, all right. And it's like, yeah, all right, I'm with you. Let's go. I'm going to stop saying what's next because I have no idea. My list said it should have been Q Dark Fantasy like three shows back. So it's either going to be Q Dark Fantasy, Max, or Mebius. So let's find out. It was not. It was another Nexus OP. I think that second Nexus OP is in some ways better, in some ways worse. The rock is even more pronounced, and I actually like the song more. I do think visual-wise, sometimes it leans too much into this character sitting by himself against a wall, and here come the feathers. But at the same time, there's a shot of the characters where one of the characters has a gun and has broken the glass of a window, I guess, beside him. And I immediately was like, oh man, I want to watch the show. Because I want to know what's his deal. And like that's what that's supposed to do. That's why you show off the characters, you know. So I don't have a second Nexus to show on here, but I would put that Nexus at the bottom of S right now. Nexus second OP. Max brings back silhouetted monsters, which I still really like. I like the way they look a lot for sure. Also this song is great. Max, 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 Max. Yeah, I like this one quite a bit. We're gonna put it in A, probably above Taro. It was good. It was good. I'm just gonna do this. Just gonna move Ultraman Mebius up to top of Triple S. So I mentioned earlier that the Ultraman punch towards. Mebius is an open hand, and I feel like I've seen that before too. So maybe different for different Ultraman. I don't know, but Mebius with the open hand was really cool. And then everything after that in this OP was really, really solid. The characters were really cool. Getting to see them was really nice. They all had different stuff going on they were doing, and song was great. Man, I just want to watch it again now. I really, really like that OP. It's I watched it again. It's still just as good. I still love it. I want to know who those other Ultramen are. Like, what's going on with them? Yeah, no. Also, I recognized one of the guys in this team is the guy that Kintaros took over in Kamen Rider Dino. Recognized him immediately. I was like, oh. Yeah, no, this is a really good OP. I never watched them a second time. I think the only other one is Tokuger, right? Where I watched the OP a second time. Because I try to be fair and just watch it once and keep moving on. But yeah, Mebius that's a really good opening. Next up then would be Ultra 7X, I think. That OP can't have been anything other than Mega Monster Battle. That was a really fun OP. The song was really good. I'll admit I was a little excited already when I saw some of the monsters that popped up in Gede. I got a little excited. And that may have, I will be fully honest, that may have swayed some of my opinion. However, I do still think this is a really solid OP. You can see the characters, they're using those little capsule devices, and the monsters are fighting, and you can see some actual combat from the monsters. You don't really get to see, like, there's one shot of an Ultraman. I don't even know if there is an Ultraman in that show. But I guess there would be since he's in the shot, but you know what I mean. Very, very cool. I like the idea of that a lot too. That's a very different OP compared to a lot of them, in a good way, as compared to my thoughts on like Towards the Future. But next up should be, I guess, the sequel, which is like Never Ending Odyssey for Mega Monster Battle. We'll see. Whoever's decision it was to keep the monster sound effects over the top of the OP, you're a genius. Those were great. I absolutely loved them. The music is pretty good too. I don't think it's as good as the first OP, but I do think it's really solid. And just getting to see the monsters just like running forward and then, roaring and slamming into each other, that was really cool. That's a good OP. That's very, very nice. Next up was Ginga, which had a really, really good OP. I like the shots of the characters, the monsters that show up, and the little bit of action that you see. Song was really good too. It makes me want to watch Ginga quite a bit, so we're gonna put it at the top of A. I liked it a lot. Some of you saw the stupid mistake that I made where I grabbed Ginga S instead of Ginga. Well, let's just do that. Because I do think Ginga S is the better OP. Ginga S, well, actually, we're probably going to do this. Yeah, let's do this. I like, I don't know though. I really liked the monsters fighting. Let's do this, yeah. Ginga S, really, really solid OP. I liked that a lot. Da 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 da. Suyoku nare. And just like the Ginga coming up with the hand together as if he's like ready to chop. And then I don't know the other one's name. I'm guessing S. Coming out with his fist closed, ready to punch. Very, very cool. Loved the duality of the two of them in the OP. Good to see some characters again. Very, very good. This one felt really focused in a way that I feel like some of them have not. And I liked it a lot. It was really good. I know that's pretty much all I'm saying at this point is I liked it. It's really good. But we've got past just whatever the Towards the Future was. There are people I'm sure that love that OP. And like, you are more than entitled to your opinion. You should love it if you love it. Because I think it's very bold and very brave. And I just didn't like the decisions that it made myself. Yeah, this list that I have is super not in order, but that's okay. Next up, let's see what we get. The Ultraman X opening is a ride. Okay, so the start of this OP did not grab me. I thought the song was okay. It's pretty good, getting to see the characters, sure, doing a good job there. They're getting it. They're doing it. The da 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 da. But yeah, sure, that's pretty good. I like that. I would listen to the song again. And then you cut into the action, and it seems like it's about to end, but then it comes back around again in the middle of the Ultraman X for a da 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 da. And then when you reach the end, there's a guitar riff. Like, okay, yeah, no, you got me. You got me. That was a pretty crazy ride. You got me. That's going to top of S. That was something. I didn't expect that OP to get so much better in the second half, but it sure did. The Orb OP was pretty good. I liked it well enough. It never really grabbed me in the way that I thought it was going to. Like, there was some cool stuff shown, don't get me wrong. The Gede, like, combining two powers together was really nifty. The characters all got their moment, The song was pretty good. It didn't grab me in the way that some of the others have. I think we're going to probably put it right after Nexus. But I liked it. It wasn't bad at all. So this tier list doesn't have Ultraman Zero, the new Chronicle. Is that Ultraman Zero, the Chronicle? But that's a really good OP. I like that a lot. It was in my video hodgepodge collection of all of the OPs. I like that a lot. That was good OP. I would probably have put that after X. Or maybe after 80, but it would have been up there pretty high. All right, now bear with me, because I know you're going to think that I'm going to rate this highly because it's a show that I've seen a little bit of, right? Gede. Let's look at Gede critically. That opening starts off great with da 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 da. Jump up, Jito. It's great opening, great start, right? That gets you excited. You're hyped right off the bat. Then you spend time with each of the characters. And it's not just like a, hey, here's one flash of them. It's like, hey, here's 3 flashes of them from doing different things that they're a part of. You get to see combat, you get to see solid burning, you get to see different forms. Very, very good. The song's great the whole time. Urutoraman. Yeah, no, Jean's taking the top spot. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think that OP is really good. Like Zero the Chronicle, Orb the Chronicle is not on here. I would probably put it just after the Orb opening, maybe a little bit lower. It's still very cool. Very, very cool. Still has a lot of the same things that I said about the Orb opening in it, even though it has less characters, as far as I can tell. But it seemed really cool. While I'm mixed about the song, I think sometimes the song is great, and other times the song kind of runs together. Ultraman RB's opening is really, really solid. The moment where the 2 Ultramen fist bump and then do the handshake, that got me. That got me, and that's just the opening. I haven't even seen the show, and that got me. Yeah, I like that a lot. We're gonna put that at the bottom of S, I think. But really, really solid. It could move up. No, we're gonna leave it at the bottom. Yeah, we'll put it above the monster battles, even though the monster battles are great. Put it above the monster battles. I think if the song hadn't gone into like that, I guess it was almost rap, like just all of a sudden, just and I'm sure there's some people that's their favorite part of the song, but for me, the song was like really good up until that point, and then it's like, okay, that's fine. I get it. 2 different characters, 2 different genres of music, right? I get it, but I don't know. That was still a really, really solid opening. New Generation Chronicle also isn't on this list. But was pretty good. I liked it. It was a fun little montage. I would put it at the bottom of A. Taiga, actual Taiga, not Tiga. Taiga, like RB is kind of a mixed bag for me. There are times where the song is my favorite, and times where it's absolutely not. But I really like the Taiga. It reminds me a lot of Dinah in that way. So we're gonna put it above RB in S. It was very fun. Very fun. Chronicles Zero and Jeed also isn't on this list. I would honestly put that in triple S. I really liked that one. Hiro. Really liked that one. That one was really good. So yeah, now I'm gonna see if I can hunt down these 4. I'll see you guys in just a minute. All right, so this one is another 7 OP, which it's not bad. It's about the same as the previous one. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Ultra 7X, I didn't really like. It's technically very sound. We're gonna put it in B. But I didn't like the feel of it. It definitely felt like it was going for maybe more of a darker aspect. It's not my kind of opening. I'll put it that way. I understand why other people would like it. It's technically very sound. It's just not my kind of opening. I don't know that you can really call Dark Fantasy an OP. It's like a unless the one that I saw was wrong, it's like a short Twilight Zone style piano intro, and then you're just into it. I do have to say I could not find it on YouTube. I had to find it on external sites, which is interesting. But I don't know that I'd call that an OP. Let's see about Neo Ultra Q. Neo Ultra Q is kind of the same way, so we're gonna put that in D as well. That's the list. This was probably the hardest one to make because I just didn't know a lot of the source material, and it was tough figuring out which shows were which, especially since like the list that I had was incorrect. Which, by the way, the list that I had is from Wikipedia. But that said, I really should watch more Ultraman. I had no idea. I don't mean to just ramble here. I had no idea that Ultraman focused so much on teams. I assumed because of Jeed that it was more of like a solo, maybe 1 or 2 main character thing. But there's a lot of teams in a lot of those OPs, and I really like them. Do I want to move anything around now? Oh, man. Maybe move Ginga up to S. I liked Ginga quite a bit. I'm actually really happy where the list is at right now. It's kind of a shame for me because I really like Showa openings. But a lot of the Showa openings for Ultraman didn't do much for me at all. But as you can see, there's some really, really good openings in here too. I think S and A are way more full than they have been in other rankings. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Tell me how wrong I am. And until next time, I've been Trey. This has been the Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that Ultraman has to offer.